reaction to the huge news of yesterday. Welcome in. Welcome in to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered here live on this Tuesday edition. As always, our friends over at Go Chevrolet, GEAUX Chevrolet.com. Online is where you can find them, but you can also find used car lots over here in Baton Rouge at Go Express Auto Sales, Florida Boulevard in Sherwood Forest, or in Laplace in Louisiana here if you're looking for brand new cars. Go Express Auto Sales. Shout out to our crew over there. Nick, Richard, Lee Carney, the entire crew, as we tell them good morning. Remember, if you stop in and see them over at Go Chevrolet, make sure and tell them that you heard it here on the Jordy Culotta Show. Coming up this morning, over the next hour, we'll have a couple of guests in here, including Jalen Brown, the five-star wide receiver. We will link up with him via video chat as he is down in South Florida, in Miami, getting prepared for his senior season. We'll ask him about his pledge to LSU and what it's like being in this class coming up here at 8 o'clock this morning. And then we'll talk to one of the former greats here at LSU, and Harvey Williams, one of our favorites, when he stops through, always telling great stories, reliving his memories from LSU in the 80s or big time in the NFL with the Chiefs and the Raiders.
Electric Factory.
He will, he will stop by here at 7:30 this morning. Shout out to Metropolitan Health Group, Real Doctors, Real Solutions, bringing you our phone line. And as I said, our phone line packed here with Williams and Brown coming up at 7:30 and 8 a.m. Respectively. All right, another big day coming up. Announcements. We will have Kai Preen. We will be on St. James's campus this afternoon at 6 o'clock. Thank you to Woodlawn yesterday for opening up their doors. Everybody over there, Scott Stevens, Marcus Randall, the entire crew over at Woodlawn. Very accommodating to us over there. Unbelievable announcement by Jordan Matthews. One of the top announcements that I can remember, with the cop walking the briefcase in, the family's reaction to the light when the briefcase opens, and then stunning everybody. I mean, like, recruiting experts in the crowd. Everybody thought he was going to Texas. And there was a moment there where they were setting up about 15 minutes before we went live, and he had the pictures to the right and left of the podium as they were setting up. And as one of, I believe his sister or his mom or someone was putting the picture up, the kind of the curtain that they had over it kind of slid down, but they didn't reveal like any of his uniform. But I kind of thought to myself, that doesn't look like Texas orange. Like,
that's creamsicle, baby.
Yeah, right. I was like, that kind of feels like Tennessee.
That orange ain't burnt.
So look, as I've said the entire time with Jordan Matthews, LSU is going to, really turn up the heat. I thought it would be easier to flip him from Texas than it would be from Tennessee. It felt like Tennessee is much more of a secure commitment, but from the LSU side, they are still going after Matthews, and there's a couple of months before signing day, so we'll see how it works out. But yesterday was awesome. We appreciate being on Woodlawn's campus, and congratulations to Jordan Matthews, his family, and Woodlawn's program, as they've had a very exciting last couple of weeks here, getting prepared for their season to start with all this kind of stuff moving into the background. It'll be interesting to see how the next couple of weeks work for the Panthers. Huge news around LSU yesterday, obviously, as Miles Brennan, sixth-year quarterback, decided to step away from the program, retiring from football. Christian Garrick and WWL had it first. And look, we got into a little bit of trouble yesterday because of me. We don't usually go to practice, and we've got a great team that go out to and covers practice every day. And yesterday I had the opportunity to go out there, and we had some video of the quarterbacks going through, and it was my fault. We put the video out during practice time, and they say that probably 20 times a practice. You know what I mean? That you can't put video out during practice. It was my fault. I thought you could put it out when the media left, not when practice was over. But for as many times as they tell us, and as many times as they told the team, it was a mistake that we will have to suffer for. We are no longer allowed out at practice.
The bad boys of media strikes again.
For the foreseeable future is what I was told. And we broke a very simple rule, and I did it. Nobody on our team, and I've cost our team great content and good opportunities to get out there and watch LSU. But the story of Miles Brennan not being there. Obviously, everybody in the media was talking about it, and as soon as I got back into the car, I told our social media team to hit tweet on it, and it came back to bite us, and it sucks. And it was my fault. It was my
Thank
fault.
God.
There's nobody. Yeah, right.
Thank God.
But
heads were rolling if not.
I there was nothing that I could say, and I know that Michael Bonnet, who made the call, was it was kind of principal's office, but the rules, man. I have to do something here.
Can't smoke inside.
Yeah, right. I mean,
how many times we got
you're
over
really
this?
you're really pushing me on this, and I get it. So it sucks for us.
Indefinite ban, or
I don't think indefinite. I don't think indefinite. Hopefully they see the goodwill that we feel for the program.
Just trying to help.
Obviously want to always kind of portray that. But yesterday it was a blatant rule. But look, we can cover all press conferences once the games start. We should be good there. But for practice over the next couple of days and weeks, no Culotta show.
It's all because Katie put out pictures of all those asses on Instagram.
Yeah.
That's what it was. She was posting. They were going live. Shit. She's all over IG. Bonnet said, nope.
Yeah, right.
That's okay.
I'm going to need those passes back, buddy.
Yeah. You're not VIP.
But the story then kind of shortly broke. Like, I think we put the video, took it down. I think it was up for 4 minutes. Once we took it down, I believe 2 minutes later, Christian Garrick over at WWL tweeted out that sources are telling him that Miles Brennan is walking away from football. And then the story kind of started to bubble and surface that he's retiring. He's stepping away. And I was on with the morning crew this morning on WAFB on their morning show, and we're on every Tuesday and Thursday, and love Matt and Liz and the crew over there, and always love going back and forth with them. But Matt asked me over off the top what was my initial reaction when I heard the news. Was I shocked? And he asked for one word to describe it, and I said I don't think shocked is the word. Understanding is kind of what I said. I mean, if you think about the Miles Brennan story and where it started, what's happened all the way up to this point, there's nothing that I can think of ever in intercollegiate athletics that ever can compare to what Brennan has gone through. If you think it's over 6 years ago that he committed to LSU. I mean, the things that he has gone through since he's been here. I mean, the best player in the program's history and at his position at quarterback showed up for the 2 years that Brennan was really kind of set to take that next step, right? It would be like in Walker Howard's evolution, it would be like Joe Burrow showing up next season and being there next year, and Walker Howard's, red shirt sophomore year when you really expect him to be playing. And from Brennan's standpoint, one thing that, I went back and looked at was that Brennan played 6 games as a freshman. I mean, during that freshman season where he played those 6 games, he weighed probably 185 pounds. It was crazy to kind of go back and look at the stats. And then obviously the red shirt and the injuries and the crazy injuries and the 3 starts and the numbers and, the transferring out and the coming back and, going through camp and going through another coach and an offensive coordinator. I mean, I get it. At some point, it just kind of hits you that it's over. It's past. There's no more feelings there, and there's no more passion. And I don't know that for certain, but I would get it if that's what's really behind it. But stepping away entirely from the game kind of leads me to believe that it's probably just kind of over it. I think that we've all had either it's a relationship, a job, a class, whatever it is, where you're just you put your heart and soul into something and you work out. And the timing doesn't add up or it doesn't merge correctly, or it's where it is. And from Miles Brennan's standpoint, I totally understand yesterday the decision by him to step away from football. Because as this quarterback race has been detailed by all media outlets, and everybody's pretty much got the same story, so I mean, it's really kind of pointed at what it is that this is a 2-quarterback race. And it's been a 2-quarterback race for the majority of the time. I think Brian Kelly, when he first got the job, he looked at the roster and said, look, there's a ton of holes here. There's a lot of spots that need to be filled. And quarterback was the most glaring. And the quarterback that was most accessible, or the quarterback that was at least easiest at the time to recruit and try and get somebody into the program, was Brennan. And so for Brennan's sake, I think even then he was hanging on to, he loves LSU. He grew up wanting to be the quarterback, and he saw another opportunity to make that happen. And he wasn't ready to give up on it. He came back, practiced, bought in, learned the scheme, went through spring, competitive here in the fall. And I think on Saturday after the scrimmage, he went up there looking for a real answer, and credit Brian Kelly, who gave him a real answer and told him where the quarterback race stood. And look, we mentioned Kelly's comments on Thursday when he was talking about Jaden Daniels taking 1 reps and that Garrett Nussmeier would have taken 1 reps. And Miles Brennan is as smart as I'm paraphrasing, but he said something to the effect of ultimately patting him on the head, where he's talking about the other 2 guys in the competition, and Daniels and Nussmeier, and talking about if Nussmeier was there, he would have gotten first-team reps, and Miles is a smart guy. Where it's like, I appreciate it, Coach, but does that mean I'm not getting 1 reps? Yeah, read between the lines. What he said publicly. So whatever was said behind closed doors, it ultimately drove Brennan to retire. And I get it. I really do. I wish Miles Brennan, so well in whatever is next for him. And I've really always thought that he would get a shot in the NFL. Like if he really wanted to commit to it and go through camp or go through workouts or go through a combine or go through individual workouts, there's no way that you can tell me that there's 64 better quarterbacks in the world than Miles Brennan. If I'm looking at the guys that have taken backs up, and for that matter, for the teams that carry 3, let's call it 90. For him not to get an opportunity with that arm strength and that arm talent just doesn't make any sense to me at the next level, because there's offensive lines that exist where he can drop back and he can be protected. And if he's protected, no matter where you are on the field, every throw is in play. So I think that there's somewhere in the NFL that makes sense. I don't know where it is, but all of those guys have the arrogance and the confidence that they can turn water into wine. So whatever is next for Miles Brennan, I wish him the best, because he gave LSU everything he had. And even when he thought he was ready to move on, he still wanted the opportunity to play at LSU. And to me, that's so relatable in the sense of, it's probably all of us that, whether it's me talking on this platform or you listening on this platform, you grew up loving LSU or you grew up watching LSU, and somewhere in your kid brain you thought to yourself, I'd love to be the quarterback.
Yeah.
I'd love to run out of the tunnel. I'd love to play on a Saturday night in Tiger Stadium. Miles Brennan did that. He told us that during recruiting. He told us that during his time at LSU. And now, after he walks away and it doesn't work out, you can look back and say, man, dude gave everything he had to the program, and it's just one of the craziest stories that I've ever seen, ever heard, ever covered, ever followed, ever watched. It's incomparable of what Brennan went through, whether it's COVID, Joe Burrow, or flip-flops on a fishing deck. I mean, it's nuts, all of the stuff that has collectively kind of gone into the Miles Brennan story. I mean, just think of some of the characters that play in the movie of Miles Brennan or in Miles Brennan's book. From Les Miles to Cam Cameron to Joe Brady to Matt Canada. I mean,
against Alabama as a freshman.
Yeah, he played against Alabama as a freshman.
He got some burn. Everybody was pretty excited to see what LSU kind of
Canada,
what was next.
Canada wanted him to start. I mean, Canada thought that he gave LSU the best chance to win that night. You know, and then I think the sideline had a case of the efforts and were like, tired of listening to Canada bark into the headset about Miles Brennan. They just put him out there.
I'm getting fired anyway.
So it's wish the best to Miles Brennan.
Running for his life in that Alabama game.
He took some shots, but he stood back there. If you watched that
It's
game,
180 pounds.
Yeah, and you saw. But if you saw him play, there's no way you weren't a little excited about what he could probably do for LSU. You saw him playing for probably 2-3 years as LSU starting quarterback.
If he plays the whole game against Troy, they don't lose to Troy. This 2017, when they lost to Troy, if he plays the whole game, they don't lose to Troy. He almost brought us back. Like, he has, 10 more seconds on the clock. He brings us back. But he was pressing and threw an interception.
That was a fun game to watch in Northwestern State's press box while I was supposed to be watching Northwestern. They was taking L's everywhere, all around me.
It's wild, though. I mean, just the Brennan story, all of it, man. I mean, from Troy to Missouri to abdominal surgery that they would have named after him. I mean, it's just it's crazy,
Slipping, breaking your arm.
It's wild.
Sleeping on it. Yeah. Do you think if Jaden Daniels doesn't come to LSU that Miles Brennan stays? Like, you think that's the revolving door, really, when you want to pinpoint? I mean, we can look at it as obviously his whole career at LSU for 6 years, which is wild in itself. But is this like the one move, the one more turn where he's like, I can't compete anymore? Like, if it's just Nussmeier and Walker Howard, I feel like Brennan stays.
Yeah, probably so. I mean, whoever it is, whoever was the second man brought in to make it a three-man competition, I think Brennan probably got the feeling of, like,
I can't do what he does.
Yeah, right. Or, what don't they like what they saw?
Right.
I mean, there was probably a lot of, in the recruiting back of Brennan of, hey, man, it's going to be like a couple of years ago where you'll have every chance to be the guy.
Right.
And then, once they probably thought about it for a couple of weeks and kind of saw it and looked at it, we're probably like, yeah, Jaden Daniels on the market. Let's
put a feeler out.
Let's go all in, to see if they can't flip him and or not flip him, but get him out of the portal. And I think once, Daniels landed, I mean, it really became a quarterback competition that, was between three guys, and ultimately
somebody's got to finish third.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of leaves somebody odd man looking out. So for Brennan's sake, I think this isn't surprising to a lot of people, that not that it's Brennan, but that there's two quarterbacks going into fall for LSU that really have and feel like viable players. Now, there's a couple of ripple effects here, right? And one of the ripple effects is that Walker Howard is a snap away from being your backup quarterback. He's 2 snaps away from being your starter. And that's what we've always talked about is the most dire scenario out there. Now, it's football. You can't control it. You can't play against it. You can't play to say you can't get a guy hurt, because you know what? You know what happened on first down? He'll get hurt. That's just how the game is. But just from a preparation standpoint, and I think that was a lot of what LSU's staff offensively was thinking was, look, you can't have enough people in that room that you can count on, trust, and at some point look at and, put them in there to go win a game, go play. And they don't want that to be Walker Howard. So they really need that position to be durable this season. They need it to stay healthy whoever it's going to be. And then, shortly after, and another ripple effect that I think we'll talk about a little bit later, but is real, is the NIL stuff. I mean, Miles Brennan is the first player in the NIL era to have major deals. Like, Brennan's got Raising Cane's, Walk-Ons, Hollingsworth Ford here in town, a very reputable name and brand, have signed him to an NIL deal. And since these NIL deals cannot be performance-based, the player gets to keep all the money. I mean, he'll be the first one. He'll kind of be a test case for someone who had contracts in place, agreements with signatures between player and business, and ultimately the stuff on the field is not going to get fulfilled. But the fact that it can't be a performance-based agreement puts all of the power, and if it went to a court of law, the judgment, into the corner of the player. So it'll be good debate, and I think it'll be a good test case and example that you will see, really referenced and looked upon as something that can provide structure to name, image, and likeness. Because, I can guarantee you that, Brandon Landry, Todd Graves, and Mike Hollingsworth aren't too happy. Or at least, look at the investment that they made and say, now there's absolutely zero that you're going to get returned from it. And I know that these deals are made with the intention and with the thought in mind that you're probably not going to be recouping what you're investing in. But you at least want them on the field, or at least part of the team.
Well, they thought they were getting LSU starting quarterback, right? Like, isn't that kind of what the deals are based upon? That Miles Brennan won't only be on the football team, but he'll be trotting out through the tunnel as LSU's guy. He'll be the guy that you see nearly every play on offense. Like, that's what I'd imagine their intentions were. But if you're any of these companies, I feel like you still get something. Miles Brennan's still recognizable around town. Like, I don't think he's leaving. I feel like he'll probably be in the stands. He'll be at some
Maybe
games.
You can still use it.
I think so. I mean, he's a former LSU. He was here for 6 years.
Yeah.
Former LSU player, Miles Brennan, who's probably. Do you think he gets any training time in for the NFL, or done? Because he could just he could just take the year, the year, get healthy, and start training.
I kind of feel like he's done.
It feels like he's done too.
I feel that. I mean, by no means do I know anything. I'm not reporting anything, but I get the feeling if you're just walking away from it right now,
it's cooked.
It's over, man.
Yeah, especially with the way that it was announced, I'd imagine. Like, he'd been like, I'm going to opt out, start preparing for the draft, whatever. Instead, he's just like, this is enough for me.
Get married, bro.
It's about to be teal season.
Yeah, and look, man, I'll never forget one of the
FM Outdoors with Miles Brennan.
One of the breakdowns that somebody told me. He said, "You want to know what the difference between Brennan and Burrow is?" He said, "Gives you an idea." He said, "When we got off of and this was an offensive official during 2019, said when they got off the bus at Bama at Baton Rouge Metropolitan, obviously there is mayhem at the private airport over there. People are lined up on the fence. That's the shot of Burrow running down the fence.
Yeah, where he had no clue that was
shaking
going to happen.
everybody's hand, right. When they get back to the facility, they drive the bus over to the facility. There's carloads of people. There's cars lined up on Skip Burtman Drive, giving everybody high five. Well, there's a car full of, women that are like, Joey, come with us. Come get in the car. And Joey says him and Joe Brady go upstairs and cut up the Alabama film and get it ready to watch tomorrow. And Miles Brennan, they were, and Brennan had open access to all of that stuff. Right? Whatever they were doing, you could come sit in the back and just watch, listen. And Brennan sprinted to his truck and went to Pecan Island to go duck hunting. And, right, wrong, or indifferent. There's no right answer to it. It's just the fact that Joe Burrow's the number one pick in the draft and the Heisman Trophy winner. And Miles Brennan was having a tough time trying to catch on in playing after all the stuff that he was dealt after those injuries. Because the shame in Miles Brennan's story, when you look back and tell it out loud, was that he was on pace to really have a stellar, first-year season as a starter.
This is worst-case scenario, I'd imagine. Like, if he looks back at his football career from going, like you said, what his last game he threw for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns and a loss, granted, but they got to the 1-yard line, should have won. But that's the last time he's ever suited up. And he's like, I was on a path here where I could have been a 2-year starter at LSU, get drafted in an offense where it's like, all right, this kind of makes sense. Like, I'm able to do kind of what I want in terms of what they were doing offensively. It's like, all right, I can stand back here, sling it around a little bit. People get to see how I can play. I don't know how much LSU would have won, but it was a chance for him to be able to get his name out there and get drafted. Like there's a world where he goes to the NFL, not retire and in a 6-year at LSU and doesn't pick up the football in 2022.
It's crazy that this is his 6th year and he still has a year of eligibility left.
It's a doctor.
I mean, like, he is a legitimate could-be Van Wilder college football player. Like, I mean, even Van Wilder would have run out of eligibility.
At some point. This is
right?
Blue Mountain State. Yeah.
I mean, Miles Brennan still got time to play.
Got one more, coach. That's insane.
It
would have been 7 years. A lot of people go to school for 7 years. Yeah, they're called doctors.
Exactly. Remember, daily, we're brought to you by Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. Our friends over at Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works, easy to get in touch with. As we tell you every day, they do not have they don't have any online references. They don't have any website.
We had Jalen Brown, then Harvey Williams.
So we have them both?
You can't do both at the same time.
You both keep Jalen.
Okay, all right. Let me. Hey, we'll be right back. We'll be right back here. Call Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. Tell them you heard it on the
Quit
Jordy
calling
Culotta
us.
Show, and tell them, and you'll save yourself 15%. The phone number is 225-776-2431. Barker Brothers Plumbing and Works. We'll be back with somebody right after this on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet. Red Stick Sports, a local staple in Baton Rouge to all sports fans, was founded back in 1981 and has remained a family business for over 40 years. Today, they still have the great selection on the floor, but they're also a leader in custom apparel for businesses, sports teams, and other groups. Take it from us, everybody over here at FM Digital Media. They help us out with all of our apparel. Let them help you out today. Go ask for Cody over at Red Stick Sports. Check him out online at redsticksports.biz. I was embarrassed about my smile. Are you unhappy at yours? Do you not smile back at yourself? I called my friend, Dr. Spillers, over at Johnson Spillers. He fixed my smile, and now everywhere I go, people are complimenting it after the work that Dr. Spillers and the staff did to my mouth. They can do it to yours. Get in touch with them. JohnsonSpillers.com. 2 locations. One in Gonzales, one in Baton Rouge. Easy to find them. JohnsonSpillers.com. All right, welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet, as we give a little bit of a reaction to the big story yesterday. Miles Brennan will also get to the other story. Christian Garrick broke the story on Miles Brennan. We'll talk about the story that WWL broke yesterday that says that Jaden Daniels is the leader right now, or will be named the starter. I don't know if
don't take too much stock in that.
Yeah, I don't know.
They split
100%. I don't know if it's time yet to name that a starter. I think it's still open.
It was scrimmage Saturday.
Yeah, don't they have one tomorrow?
No, Saturday.
Man,
Doesn't matter to us.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Gotta get a new schedule.
Culotta Show cooked.
Hope
Colada's
Barnett's
cooked.
not listening, but I'm going to just black out that Culotta show on there.
Yeah.
Right, that's right.
Slide on in and get us some
Easy, don't tell them all the
content.
secrets. Harvey Williams over in Texas, our favorite man, former Tiger, former Chief, former Raider, now with us here throughout the football season. Great storyteller as well. Let's go over to Houston, Texas, and link up with our guy, Harvey Williams, this morning. Harvey, how we feeling, man? Good morning. How are you?
Jordy, what's up, man? What's going on? Can y'all hear me?
That sounds clean.
Oh,
that is
this-
crispy
this is
clean,
a pro.
man.
Yeah,
That
my
is-
wife got it popping in here, bro.
Harvey in the open field. That looks good. That sounds good. You texted me yesterday after the news broke on Brennan. 6 years he's been at LSU, man. It looks like he was not going to be the starter going into fall camp, and it looks like he's just hanging him up. What was your reaction to that?
I was shocked. I remember Miles at a camp that my son Tyson was there, man, and he didn't go through any of the drills, and I saw Cameron was like, following him around and like Miles was like walking on water. So my thing, that's when I started noticing, and my thing is, Jordy, is, our kids today, man, it's about competition, good, healthy competition. Mm-hmm. And I think if you're so used to giving things given to you, I mean, you're not battle tested, man. So I'm just real surprised that he would divorce football. I think one day he's going to have to tell his kids, like, Pops, you went to LSU, you was there for 6 years, you went through all this, you got hurt, went through a lot of things, man. He went through a lot,
yeah,
but
he did.
He didn't quit. He didn't quit then. So my thing is, when Kelly came, I think in his mind, did he think he was just going to, be given the job? So that's the type of questions I would ask him.
Harvey, how
have
you seen the quarterback position change in recruiting? It used to be you were looking for somebody that could stand back there, deliver throws, stand in the pocket. Now it's become more, I'd say Kyler Murray is probably one end of the scale, but that's kind of the model you're looking for, somebody that can throw it and run it. How have you seen that position develop?
I mean, with my man in Baltimore, and like you said, Kyler Murray, man, Kyler, I mean, it's trending that way. But, man, you give me somebody like a Troy Aikman or somebody like Brady. Brady can't run at all. If you can sit back there and deal those cards and not panic under pressure and things like that, man, because, a running quarterback to me is a very dangerous quarterback. And when I say dangerous quarterback, at any moment he can get his head taken off. So, he's not a running back. I prefer quarterbacks that can stand back there, move a little bit, and sling that rock all over the field.
Joe Montana, best quarterback you ever played with?
I would say, yeah, he's a Hall of Famer. I played with a guy named Jeff George.
Hell
man,
yeah,
and
the marble cutter.
JG had a
Cannon.
JG had a rocket launcher, bro, and he just JG didn't get an opportunity. Like, I'm not gonna say I didn't get an opportunity, but I think if JG really truly got an opportunity, he probably would have been a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. What was it about Joe Montana? You got a Joe Montana story in the huddle in the locker room somewhere where you were like, damn, this dude's different?
Man, what I remember about Montana was how cool he was. You remember the movie Cool Hand Luke?
Yep.
Montana was cool as a cucumber, man. And just the way just the way he led us, and he had been there before, and just we would hang out all the time. He'd come to the house, and his wife Jennifer. He was just cool and laid back. He wasn't like a rock star or anything like that. You would think like what you see today, all these prima donnas and rock stars. Joe Montana wasn't like that, man. So I played with him for a year, but he was really cool. And when he got to Kansas City, his arm really wasn't that strong anymore. I don't even think Joe could throw the ball 40 yards.
Is Brady most comp to him? When you watch Brady play, who's he most comparable to that in your era of the game? Would it be Joe Montana?
I would think Joe Montana. Brady is the GOAT, man. And, Montana, I'm not going to say Montana is right there with him, but, Brady going to go down in history as one of the best quarterbacks in history, man. We'll be talking about Brady 200 years from now. Yeah. I really believe that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Harvey, what about the NFL right now? And you mentioned the Raiders, and they got a great play caller, in my opinion, in their new head coach, Josh McDaniels, coming over. And then I look at what New England's doing. Have you seen this story in New England where they do not have an offensive coordinator? They have not named an offensive coordinator. No, I haven't seen that. And look, I think there's only probably one coach on the planet that can get away with this, right? And that's probably Bill Belichick. But when you see that in the NFL, what do you make of that story, man? We were talking about it this morning.
Man, that's kind of weird. I've never heard anything like that before. The season is getting ready to start, and for you not to have a OC, that's crazy. But like you just said, if one person can pull that off, it'll be Bill Belichick, and he's going to go down as one of the best coaches in football history, man. Just the way he, his playbook, he customized his playbooks around his personnel. Is not the way, not the other way around. And it's gonna, if they don't have an OC, it's gonna be fantastic to see how they pull it off this year. I'm quite sure. I know Bill Belichick don't call plays, but 95% I think he have a big influence this year.
From Belichick, was he head coach of Cleveland when you were in the league?
But he was at Cleveland, and I remember when he was at the Giants. When he was at the Giants, before I think I got into the league.
Right.
But you really started noticing him when he got to Cleveland. And then all the coaches that spawned from him.
Yeah.
Is like 20 or 30 coaches, and they still spawning from him, man. So, Bill Belichick is the truth, and it's hard to beat him in Saban. I really believe that. And Saban is one of his spawn, one of his guys.
He was a defensive coordinator on that Cleveland team. Hodson was like that too, right? I mean, you played with very similar quarterbacks in the sense of they were very heady, athletic, and deceivingly arm-strong guys. I mean, Hodson, I think the story goes, like, people very much underestimated his athleticism when they looked at him. But to be a 4-year starter in the SEC, and you were there for all of them, I mean, that was kind of like the prototype quarterback at the time.
Yeah, Tommy was the truth, man. Tommy was very, very smart. Tommy, he knew the defenses. He, as far as throwing the ball to all of us, he knew us, like the back of his hand. And what a lot of people don't remember about Tommy Hodson is Tommy Hodson had to go and compete every day, every week, every play, man, because the guys that we had behind him, Valentine and guys like that, man, they was on his ass, in his ass.
They played Mickey Guidry,
would have to come.
Right? Like, I mean, they would play him.
Yeah, Mickey would get at least, about between 9 and 10 plays every game that we play.
Right.
And I think he would come in like the second or the third series. And if you really think about it, that's very smart. So, if Tommy did get hurt, Mickey, he was going to be right on point. The second string quarterback going to be on point. And they did that for a whole year when Bill Arnsberger was here, man. And they kind of got away from it after Bill left.
What happened? Was Archer too young for the job at the time?
Man, we'll be here for the next 2 weeks talking about Mike Archer, man. I just think he couldn't adjust, Jordy.
Yeah.
He was a defensive
guy, right? Defensive guy?
Yeah, he was a defensive guy. Mm-hmm. He couldn't adjust. I think, that year that we went 10-1-1, we should have went undefeated, man. That was Bill Arnsberger's team.
Yeah,
87. That was Bill's team. And Mike was just very young and couldn't adjust. And the way he recruited, bro, was totally different. Like Bill did, it was like night and day. It really was.
Hodson was hurt for the Alabama beat y'all. Y'all tied to Ohio State, and Hodson was hurt in the Bama game, right? Or they put him in like late in the game, and he threw an interception. He had gotten hurt.
Yeah, I think he was a little banged. Yeah, he was a little banged up. You talking about here in Baton Rouge? When we lost to him?
Yeah. Did y'all? Was that in Baton Rouge? 86.
Yeah,
y'all
we beat
him.
My freshman.
Yeah.
Yeah, we beat him in Alabama. My sophomore year, I think they came back and beat us here. I think we were like 10-1 or something like that, or 9-1 or something like that, and they came and beat us. But Tommy got banged up, man, and we ended up, losing a couple of games because Tommy was banged up.
What's the feedback on Derek Stingley Jr. over there in Houston? How do they like their rookie first round?
Oh, they love him, man. Yeah. They love him, but every time I turn the TV on, they talking about him. So it's gonna be interesting to see how he does, at this elite level. I'm quite sure he's gonna be, do fantastic, and it's gonna be nice to see him against my man Chase from Cincinnati. So that the LSU connection. So we're gonna see, but man, he's out here kicking ass. They got him on TV every day, and they say day one he's gonna be a starter.
Harvey, we will talk to you next week, bro. It's great to see you, man.
I appreciate it, fam. Thank you.
Hey, what's going on with the podcast, real quick, before we get out of here?
We taping today, man. It's getting ready to get started. I just talked to Christian Okoye and Barry Ware. We did something about 31 years ago, bro.
Wow.
And it's a picture. I'm gonna send you the picture. So we all gonna try to get back in shape and try to duplicate that picture. I'm gonna send it to you after the show, and you tell me what you think.
Send me that right now.
Yeah. So everybody trying to get their sexy on, and they laugh. And Barry said he about 300 pounds. So we're gonna see. We're gonna see if we can pull it off.
Real quick, Christian Okoye.
Follow me on my Instagram, man.
Yeah. What's the Instagram account?
Harvey Williams 2244.
He's looking around at his wife. That's right,
Help me.
Was Christian Okoye was Christian Okoye the best athlete you played with? One of them? How freaky was he?
At his size, 275, can run 4.5, man. Yeah.
The Nigerian nightmare.
And Christian was, when I say Nigerian, he was a Nigerian everything, bro. Like run like 18-wheeler, man. Was what a lot of people don't remember, man, Christian ran like a 10-200 meters, bro. He almost made the Olympic team, for his country.
We'll see you next week, Big Timer. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
All right, my man. I appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, there he is, Harvey Williams.
DK Metcalf better recognize.
Former LSU legend.
The only one.
Oakland Raider. Conversation brought to you by our friends over at Edward Jones. Remember, Daniel Newman, Daniel.Newman, to help you out with all your financial advice. Get in touch with Newman today. Email him, Daniel.Newman at edwardjones.com, Daniel.Newman at edwardjones.com. We will be talking to Jalen Brown, the 5-star wide receiver, here shortly, as we will talk to Brown about going into his senior season, what it's like, and being a part of this LSU class. It's on fire right now, and what he anticipates here for LSU coming up this year. We'll be right back with more of the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
Look at these fools.
Hey Baton Rouge, when traveling through Natchez, Mississippi, whether you need to fill up your vehicle or your belly, stop by Go-Mart and On The Go Deli. Go-Mart has clean restrooms, community coffee, an awesome beer cave, and a great selection of anything you might need on your trip. So stop by Go-Mart at 4 Sergeant Prentice Drive as you're entering Natchez on the left, and visit Tom and Wright Granning and their awesome team at Go-Mart.
We've seen the BK takeover stuff from LSU and social media, and really in his short time in Baton Rouge, there's been a lot of people embracing his approach to building this roster. What's it like to recruit alongside him?
Oh, it's been great. Coach has been awesome to me because he lets me be myself when it comes to recruiting, when it comes to coaching. He lets his coaches coach, he lets his coaches recruit. So I have no complaints on that end. And when I need him to get in touch with a kid, he's there for me. The communication line has been great. He's just been nothing but supportive.
But this opportunity was different. You have a chance to come to a place with unbelievable tradition, work for the winningest head coach in college football. Just be at a state. I've never been at a state where football's king, and if you just dominate your state, you're going to get some of the best players that there are.
Sure.
Yeah, so I think, getting through spring, I mean, most of it was obviously just installing the offense. And I think all 4 guys really made some strides in terms of that and showed a lot of positives. Obviously, which, you guys get to talk about all the time. So you guys,
Sure.
But all 4 have done a great job. They did. I think they really did a really nice job in spring of taking strides forward individually, and everybody's different in terms of what they need to get better at and what they need to show. And then move it into summer, and I love the way they're working right now in the weight room for Coach Flint. But like I said, I think spring a lot was everything was new for everybody. So especially at the beginning, there wasn't as much evaluation, say the first few days, get into the flow, and then I think we got some good opportunities for some guys to get some reps, and I think everybody showed some positives.
In a wreck, Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys is ready to go to work for you. Come meet your team.
I'm your intake specialist. I coordinate your case and connect you with your attorney and paralegal.
That's us, your legal team.
Thanks.
And we'll fight to get you every dollar you deserve.
I'm your settlements and disbursement manager, and I'm here to get you paid on time.
I'm attorney Gordon McKernan. Put our team to work today. Just call us. Get it done.
Sports with it.
It's just like anything else. I mean, I don't want to get into hyperbole, but it's, everything is. I mean, frankly, I'm still worried more about concussions. We don't talk about it much anymore, but, we've kind of helped solve it in a lot of ways and make the game a lot safer. So anytime we have existential threats, which this one could or could not be, we just deal with it, and we will deal with it. It's just part of the game. And, I don't mind a lot of what's come out of this movement of doing more for the student athletes, but like anything else, it boomerangs a little too far. and you got to swing it back into, hey, what we do for the student athletes, and it's a hell of a lot. And I'm proud of that fact that we are leaders in doing that, but we're going to do it right. You know, the Tiger Athletic Foundation and in partnership, obviously, hand in hand with what we do, funded a master plan study because I wanted to see, hey, what we needed, and I just didn't want my opinion. I've been a few places, and I have a good one, I think, but you just want to see how and what our needs are, and so we're in that process of looking at it, and obviously the PMAC is 50 years old this year, and probably needs some updating. It's got good bones, and maybe we can see what we can do with that. Same thing with all that property that we have both down Nicholson and where we are currently on Nicholson and North Stadium. Is that, hey, is this the proper use and best use for that? And hand in hand with the university and what we do with TAF, we'll make those decisions, and we'll be prudent and thinking about what and how we do. Yeah, it's kind of weird in a perverse way, Jordy. You know me well, is that I kind of relish in change, and I do like it. I'm one of the few people that embraces it, and we're very lucky at LSU to have it, to be where we are and to be able to do that. I mean, I can't say that for everyone in the business because it is unsettling in a lot of ways, but for us,
Welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet, live on this Wednesday. From a former Tiger great to what feels like a future Tiger great, Jalen Brown out of Miami, Florida, is one of the smoothest players in this recruiting cycle of 2023. If you've not seen his highlights, my man can go out of Gulliver Prep High School in Miami, Florida. At Smooth5_ is where you can follow him on Twitter and social media. We'll be putting it out all throughout the day. We go down to South Florida to link up with the 5-star wideout and LSU commit Jalen Brown, who's joining us here live on this Wednesday morning. Jalen, good morning, man. How are you?
Good morning. I'm good. How are you?
Looking good in that purple and gold, my man.
Let's go.
Thanks.
Take me through this recruiting process, man. You shut it down pretty early this summer, committed to LSU, and seemed like you're pretty firm on it, man. What was it about LSU, Brian Kelly, and the timing that made you want to shut down the process?
It was pretty much the connection I had with Coach Kelly and Coach Hankston, from talking to them on the phone, texting them. And when I went up for my official visit, they showed me nothing but love. They've been true to their word so far, and they basically just shown me I can trust them with my football development and me chasing my goals. And LSU is what we use. So also a rich tradition of top receivers going into LSU and making it to the NFL, making it big, and putting on for Louisiana, and wearing that purple and gold is just something different.
Has LSU always been on your radar, or did they become more in play when Brian Kelly got to Baton Rouge with Cortez Hankton?
LSU was my second offer. So once I got that, they were always on my radar. It slowed down a little bit when COVID happened. It slowed down for really everyone. And once Brian Kelly came back, because he recruited me at Notre Dame also. So once he came to LSU, that love for me when he was at Notre Dame stayed with him and came and recruited me even harder at LSU.
What was it about the timing? You had attention from everybody in the country. I'd imagine that you could have a pretty cool senior season with your recruitment staying open. What was it about the timing that said, you know what, it's now's the time a couple of months ago when you shut it down?
The timing was faster than I expected. My original timeline was this month. Well, really coming up this weekend. That was my original timeline. But I decided to commit when I had my entire family with me. That was the main reason I shut it down so early so my family can be there, and they don't always get to be part of my recruitment process. So being able to be there with my mom, my dad, my sisters, my cousins, and aunties and uncles, all of them together makes it more, and that's what's important for me, to have them here with me and say they can be a part of my process.
What did you think about Baton Rouge? How was your trip over to LSU?
Oh, I had lots of fun in Baton Rouge. It's a little slower than Miami, but yeah, it's a little slower than Miami. It's gonna be an adjustment, but I love Baton Rouge. It's an amazing place. I just feel at ease when I'm there, happy. Like the weight of it is like gone.
I'd imagine that, with you being committed, that doesn't matter to other schools. They're probably still coming at you, especially I know your hometown team. How crazy has it been for you in this process, and how crazy is it still?
It's been crazy. Like, school's been coming and texting me on and off for a while, coming in hard. Different schools like Miami, Florida State, Michigan, Georgia. Random, they just text me all the time. But now since I'm committed, they're still texting me. It don't really matter. They feel like a lot of, especially the Florida teams, they feel like I should stay in Florida, represent my hometown, and they're pushing harder than before since I committed to LSU. It's been crazy. Fans been texting me. It's wild.
Yeah. Hey, Mario Cristobal, get the hell out of here, bro. Leave him alone. He's coming to Baton Rouge.
Respect his decision.
Bro, y'all's recruiting class is on fire right now. I'd imagine you're paying attention to this. What do you make of all these commits you guys are picking up, including another 5-star wideout in Shelton Sampson who committed last week? Scary to think about what you guys could look like in a couple of seasons playing next to one another.
Yeah, it's going to, me and him, I feel like that's going to be probably the next best duo in LSU history. With my speed and his size and physicality, that's just going to be a dangerous asset for any defense in college football. But I feel good about this class. We have a lot of great, amazing players. And I feel like this class is going to be the one that brings home the national championship for LSU.
Brian Kelly is brought back, or not brought back, he has introduced a saying to the program, graduating champions. It seems like that's kind of what he is modeling after. That's what he is selling to recruits. That's what he's trying to build within the program. It sounded like that meant a lot to you. Can you explain that? And a lot to your mom.
Yeah, it was a lot to my mom. My mom is real big on education, which is one reason why I'm here at Gulliver Prep. That means a lot because football only lasts a certain amount of time. So that graduating champions pride, I love playing for championships. I'm a competitor. I've been in championships my whole life, so I love it. And the graduating part was big to me because, like, it's stuff that I want to do after football. Like, say I make it to the NFL, I'm probably going to play hopefully 5-6 years, something like that. And then I'm probably going to be 30, 32, 30 something. I still have the rest of my life to go out and do things. So it'd be great to have a degree so I can also do something else that I love.
Absolutely. Jalen, I got you 10-year All-Pro first ballot Hall of Famer, bro. So, and you're still 32 and still got a lot of life to live. But
as long as you can still burn, because they're going to hire you.
What are your majoring? What are you thinking about majoring in? What would you like to study?
I'm thinking somewhere around sports management, sports business, something in that area.
No, go ahead.
With me, I love sports, so I want to, even after I do what I'm doing with the football thing, I want to still be around sports. I don't know what I would do without sports. So,
did you play any other sports?
I run track and I played basketball in middle school.
Will you be an early enrollee?
Yes, I will.
Nice. You wear number 5, right, at Gulliver Prep?
This year I changed my number to number 3. This year,
Upgrade.
it was my last year in my hometown, pretty much, and number 3 was the number I wore the whole time I was in Little League. So it's like going back to where it started, just remembrance of everything I accomplished over all the years, and just dedicating this last season to that.
OBJ vibes?
A little something like that.
Yeah, I like that. Do you know what number you want to wear at LSU?
I was hoping number 1, but I'm a bit freshman, so whatever number that coaches feel like is the best number for me, that's the number I'll be wearing.
Do you know the tie of Gulliver Prep and a former LSU legend in Sylvia Fowle? How much Sylvia Fowles, who has her number retired here inside the Maravich Center? I wonder how much they celebrate her on the campus that you are now.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, my bad. WNBA. Ask today. Ask your teacher. Y'all start school tomorrow, right?
Thursday.
Nice.
Is that tomorrow?
What's your anticipation for the senior season? What are the goals? What's been the off season? What have you most improved on?
I've most improved on pretty much the whole entire route tree. Almost perfected the deep ball. I worked a lot, like rep after rep on the underneath short routes. This season, just another 1,000-yard receiving season, and just to show everybody that I'm more than just a deep threat receiver. Like, I can do anything. I can play the slot. I can run the short route. I can make a play after the catch, and just prove to myself and prove to everybody that I'm more than just a vertical deep threat receiver.
Yeah. How's your relationship with Coach Hankton? Is he your primary recruiter?
Yeah, me and Coach Hankton talk pretty much. When we're allowed, we talk pretty much almost every day. We text about football, text about life, and we just check in on each other, make sure he makes sure I'm good, I make sure he's good, and we just build a relationship that's more than football.
Go have a great senior season, bro. Best of luck in school. Can't wait to watch you at LSU. Thanks for the time this morning.
No problem. Thank you.
You got it, man. There is a 5-star wide receiver, Jalen Brown, checking in from South Florida this morning. Gulliver Prep standout, as he is a 5-star wide receiver that is committed to LSU. Good to catch up with him. Remember, Daily, we are brought to you by our friends over at RMB Builders. Remember, Rhett Bourgeois and his crew can custom design a home for you. They can help you refurbish any home that you're wanting to restore. If you want to get in touch with them, it's easy to do that. Look online at rmb-builders.com. Check out their great Instagram right now. It's on fire, man. They got a lot of new reels going up. They got a lot of new content going up over on their Instagram. RMB Builders. RMB Builders is where you can find them. rmb-builders.com is where you can find them online. We'll be back. Carpool Queen is here. We'll reset and get ready for the 8 o'clock hour here live on the Jordy Culotta Show, driven and powered by Go Chevrolet.
They're just trying to man him up.
Do you suffer from chronic dehydration? Are you looking to improve your athletic performance and you need to get over and see our friends over at GoFlow IV? They're located on Jefferson Highway. Easy to find them online at GEAUXFlowIV.com. Make sure and use the promo code Jordy Culotta Show. If you do, they'll take 15% off of your initial visit. Check them out online, GEAUXFlowIV.com.
I was excited to come to a top level program. I've been at a lot of great places, been very fortunate in my career, but to really say that you have an opportunity every year, once we get it rolling, to win a national championship, there's not very many places that you can say that. So for him to offer me the opportunity to come with him to LSU was nothing but humility and gratitude. Some Sunday players in that room. But again, it's got to be the total package, the total process of buy-in, of understanding what we're trying to get done, of figuring out how we want it to get done, but also allowing those guys to be able to play with instincts. For example, I think Jay Ward is long and athletic. He's very versatile. He's played corner, played nickel, played safety. Very excited about Joe Fouché, one of the transfer guys that we came in because he has a dimension of physicality. Major Burns. Fortunate enough that he was able to come back home. Again, he's long, he's athletic, so he gives you flexibility between both field and boundary safeties. And then you've got some guys that you can throw in like Brooks, Sage, Derek Davis, Todd Harris is a guy that's been around for a while. So I think that we have enough in that room to be successful. But again, you still want to continue to grow and be able to push these points.
Yeah, well, I think it starts here, and we have a good bit of people on this particular staff who are from Louisiana, who know and believe in our hearts that this place produces the best football players in the country, and I think the numbers speak for themselves. Per capita, produce the most NFL players, you know what I mean? So even from an analytical standpoint, it makes sense to take the kids from here because the chances of them playing in the league are higher than if they come from anywhere else. I think our brand is super powerful, so we will have to recruit at a national level, or there's really no reason that we shouldn't, you know what I mean? Because if we can get a top player from another state who can help us win a championship, then of course, right? But I think it starts right here in Louisiana and then right here in Baton Rouge. There's some really good players who are still available that are right here in Baton Rouge.
We love the crew over at Fresh Chef Kitchen. Chef Shane and his crew dropping off the meals every Monday here to FM Digital Media, whether it's breakfast, lunch, dinner. Me or the crew's going through our meals over at Fresh Chef Kitchen. Their weekly pre-order, freshly made meals, or you can walk into the cooler over there on Airline Highway. They have that fresh, same service over there at Fresh Chef Eats. FreshChefEats.com is where you can find them online. Fresh Chef Kitchen. Tell them you heard it right here on the Jordy Culotta Show. All right, welcome back here to the Jordy Culotta Show live on this Tuesday morning, driven and powered by Ghost Chevrolet. Make sure you hit that like button, share button, comment button if you don't mind for us as we're here Monday through Friday for you, 7 to 9 a.m. Thanks for people finding us yesterday on the campus of Woodlawn as we were there for the big announcement for Jordan Matthews. If you missed it, you can catch it on the YouTube station. As we said earlier in the show, one of the all-time announcements.
That was cool.
I mean, that was
like
cool.
the light in the box.
Like the creative thinking. It's probably tough to be
was.
creative in that. It's like the dunk contest. I mean, everything's taken.
Yeah, you don't have to do commitment videos anymore. Bring back the old school props and stuff like that. You're already on TV. This is the recruiting video. We're putting it out live for everyone. So do something cool in game instead of relying on a hype video.
Have y'all ever seen anyone come out with a box like
Never.
that?
No.
Maybe like
Not with
a
the
whole
cop.
light
Never.
thing.
Nah.
That
Thought
was
the
pretty-
cop.
The cop, I know.
Yeah.
We
Cop
thought it was gonna
walking
be a
it in.
mascot.
He knew his role and played it well.
Absolutely.
He had
Everybody
a
did.
strut.
Like I said, I thought
was
the kind of sneaky, low-key moment of it was the whole family reacting to when the suitcase opened up. And then a big reveal, like a big
Because it was. I mean, everybody thought Texas.
Everybody.
I thought Texas.
No, I mean, anybody that was any all the recruiting experts were saying Texas.
Speaks was like, God
I already wrote the article.
Right, I gotta go rewrite the story.
Take out Texas, put in Tennessee. We're good.
But they were so ready. I went back and watched it again last night. Like his dad, when he like took
I
his
know,
hoodie
yeah.
off, and
I
like
know.
showing that
I'm
shirt, and
telling
he got
you,
that
man.
hat out
That's
of
what
there.
I'm saying.
and,
Like the
They
light.
threw the balls up.
Yeah, I was
quick.
wondering what they
Yeah.
were doing.
The
Because I was like, are they doing the horns?
The reverse
Or-
shocker.
Yeah, and then
oh,
I,
that's the V, right?
Yeah.
Wait, how do you do it? This.
is this V? Vol Nation?
It feels weird.
Nation.
This is kind of hard.
It is hard. I was just gonna say that it feels.
It
weird.
is.
It doesn't.
Two
feel
in the stink, one in the pink.
natural.
whoa.
Stop.
What is 8 o'clock? Kids are at school.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. 8 o'clock hour. We're all good.
Have y'all
Barely.
seen people do this though?
Barely.
No, I've never
I've
seen.
never
I've seen this
Tennessee
one.
fans do it, or
I've never
haven't
seen
noticed
Tennessee
it.
do that.
Tennessee
Maybe
people
he
are
started.
Is that
trend.
new?
I think so.
I don't know. It's kind of like West Side.
So many jokes to be made.
I know. I'm trying to think of more.
So many jokes.
So many.
It's actually this.
Oh, did you just look it
What
up
is
or
it?
something?
No, I'm
That's what I'm
looking at
doing.
the picture of me and him.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
actually
you have to
doing
put
it.
your.
Yeah, you're gonna get in trouble for that.
That's all right.
Did you shake his hand?
That's my guy.
He's not an LSU player. What are
I
you
don't
doing?
care.
You idiot.
Supporting your friend?
Yeah.
God forbid.
Sorry.
I
like
We'll be on the campus of St. James High School today.
Yes. Hopefully,
Kai
we
Green.
we need one more
We
guy.
gotta find our security guy. We gotta find our IT guy.
our IT guy.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're just going to watch.
No.
Oh God.
Yeah, we need
Where's
him.
he gonna go?
Is he okay?
Kai Preen?
Yeah.
I think he's going to LSU, but I
Okay.
thought that Jordan Matthews was going to Texas.
At least we have a hat on the table.
Don't listen
so
to me.
It's okay for us to cover this one.
Yeah, so
Sure.
today is Auburn, Mississippi State, LSU, and Florida State.
Florida State, yeah.
Hat on the
For
table.
Kai Preen. So LSU will have a hat on the table, and a lot of people around it feel like LSU is the team to beat. And we just talked to Jalen Brown, 5-star wideout. This would be another wide receiver addition to the class, joining Shelton Sampson and Brown. So Cortez Hankton doing a lot of good work with scooping up a couple of local guys if they can get Kai Preen this evening out of St. James. Preen more of an athlete, though. I mean, he can help you in a lot of different
Probably
ways.
hand him the ball a couple times. give
Yeah,
him a
got
few
some like
little
John
jet
Trey
sweeps.
vibes to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where you can toss it to him, you can put him at quarterback, you can put him at wide out, you can put him at
Sweet.
DB, you can put him
Yeah.
at punt returner, kick returner. I mean, like he's.
And if you're doing that at St. James, that means
right.
you're a player.
Well, he's transferred over. He went to Ascension Catholic. I believe he started.
Yeah.
High
He's going
school
to be his
at
first
Ascension
year at
Catholic.
St. James.
But what does he mainly play?
I think he
Receiver?
mainly plays wide receiver.
Oh, okay.
I mean, in the highlights, he's playing running back.
Yeah.
But that was at Ascension Catholic. I know they run like a.
They just didn't want him to be too far away from the football.
Yeah. Right.
If you
Playing
watch
the
the
highlight
the
video?
Ascension Catholic highlights,
playing
I
the
mean
highlight
that's
video?
No,
Get it
I'm not
to him.
playing the highlight video.
No video.
No video. It's
Very
cooked.
clear. They tried to bully us into the
They
videos
really
they
yesterday.
did, and I say, hey, I'm not
Stand
being,
your ground.
I'm not being an asshole.
Stand your
I'm not
ground.
doing
Stand your
that.
ground.
Yeah,
Right.
fuck that.
Right.
I mean, we've got burnt twice.
Yeah, I'm trying to be.
I know.
I'm tired of everybody looking at me. I'm going. I don't know what to do. Like, it's not my job. It's their job.
Yeah, like,
I'm over here on my little
get your video
laptop like a
I
together.
love how
nerd.
it becomes your job, though.
Yeah.
Like the whole school becomes your job.
Yeah, like
Golly, that whole school got there quick.
Yeah.
yeah, they did.
I mean, it was pretty
did.
it was pretty lonely and quiet in there for a
It
minute. Then you
was.
blinked and the whole school was in front of your face. Like,
Yeah.
I hope we don't zap out now, bro.
Oh God.
It's better than the Catholic. People got there quick, and we weren't in game shape yet.
No, we were not.
No, it's like, oh,
But we got it down, man.
You did.
I'm
You
telling
did,
you, we
yeah.
got this.
Hadn't even
We
warmed up.
have the production down
Yes.
for the commitments, and as long as we got viable Wi-Fi, which you wouldn't think be too tough to find on a high school
God, you
campus.
wouldn't.
they
Right?
act like
It's
I'm asking
ridiculous.
for like the coach
I mean,
of the
just
nuclear
do the hard
bombs.
line here.
Yeah,
People,
just
like,
remember
climb
this
up
Ethernet.
ladders
right in
and
here.
stuff.
2022.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I mean, they act
can we
like
just get a
it's-
table and power with some Ethernet right here?
Trying to
What's
get
the deal with
the
that?
Wi-Fi in the White House or something
Yeah,
at
it's-
high school. It's like,
Well, and then
oh,
your
can't
phones
give
don't
that.
work in there.
Yeah.
Like you can't do anything.
Yeah.
We can't
Exactly.
even watch it on our phones or another computer.
It's blocked.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It's crazy.
But
She did tell us, she's like, our Wi-Fi stinks in the gym, and I was
Yeah.
like, well, that's not what I wanted to hear
I mean,
at
like,
all.
you couldn't get a phone. You could get a call out. Could get a
No.
text out.
Speaks had to go outside. He goes, "What's up with the Wi-Fi in there?" It's
know.
like, I don't know, bro. I'm just glad
Bomb
we
shelter.
would have
up
been
in
able
there,
to do the
right?
show.
I know.
Thought we were below the ground.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness,
Our texts were green. Like
Oh.
yours were.
Oh.
All back.
the terrible
So
feeling.
embarrassing.
God.
Green
It
text.
is.
Weirdo
When
vibes.
his texts were green, I was like, "This is so gross. I can't even talk to you."
I don't
while
even
your
wanna text you
are
right
I went
now.
through I went through a 48-hour period where it was
Fix
just-
your messages or I won't talk to you. Jordan.
Yeah. And then you have people like I have one friend that's left that's in the Android market, and he like
Droid.
Yeah, he's adamant about it. Like, thinks
Wow.
it's the coolest thing ever. We're like,
BlackBerry guy.
Yeah, we're like, bro, get off it. It's
over.
over.
My
The race
phone
is
is
done.
They
Like,
fight for it though.
oh yeah,
They
he's
hold
like
on.
proud to be like in the separate group text. Like, no, you're just not in any group text. Like, you don't even know it. Like, he'll put one together, and it's like, bro, we're out of that. Like, we put a separate one together without you in it.
Why do you do it?
I
Why
don't
do you
know.
have
There's
an Android?
people can't admit they're wrong.
Because they feel like it's a better phone.
There's no way.
I mean, there's no
the iPhone has
way.
perfected the phone. It
Yeah.
doesn't
Like,
get any better than this.
Yeah.
What is better about an Android?
A
Like, can anybody even
cutting
answer that
edge
question?
technology.
Somebody in the chat has to have a droid,
Oh,
right?
yeah,
You think
for
Cody
sure.
Boucher is a droid
Somebody's
guy?
about to get mad.
Because they'll run. They'll sprint to its defense.
Bear 24. I'm Team Android.
There we
Hey,
go.
See,
tell
you're a
us
weirdo,
why,
Bear.
then.
Right off the top rope.
Yep. See, couldn't hang out.
Was it in the chat?
Jordy Culotta?
Come,
Second
love.
I
cousin.
wish I knew who that was. It's pretty
You
awesome.
do
Gonna
know who
come.
it is. You just
That's true.
You
can't
just
see
don't
them
know.
right now.
That's true.
That's right.
That's true.
Oh, he can see you. though. He can see you.
There are a lot of
baby.
droid users in the chat. I knew
Yeah,
there
Katie,
would be.
They see you.
There would be.
Cody Boucher does bring up a good point. Good luck finding internet in Vacherie. I feel like it might be more of the same
It's cooked.
type of.
Oh god.
Do we have
As we did say, though, the team at St. James is pretty excited about the trip because they are teaching digital marketing and digital media curriculum down there.
That's
I don't know what that means for the Wi-Fi.
I don't. Yeah, we don't know how
You know
far
what I
along
mean?
they're in. You know?
I don't know what that means for
We
the
just got a
internet.
laptop here, boys. Watch
There's
out.
only
School
one
just
way to
started.
do
Internet.
good digital media,
That's what the
and you've
internet-
got to be able to be on the
that
World
thing
Wide
up.
Web.
Absolutely.
I mean, you got to be able to get there, man.
The World Wide Web. www.
World
You got to
Wide
be
Web.
able to get
Wow.
there, and if we can't get there, we're zapped. So I mean, the checklist for us is power, Wi-Fi, good signal, and just a little space.
Ethernet, a little space,
green
and
Just a
no
little
videos.
space. We're not here to deliver a video. We have nothing to do with the video. If you
Didn't
ask
make
us to
it.
play the video, we are going to say no to the video.
And they even gave us one anyway and put it on a thumb drive and shoved it in my
They
computer.
did.
And
Yeah,
I was
it
like,
sounded and looked
fine,
great. Yeah,
I'll play
fine.
it.
Here.
I mean,
Here.
if it's
Here.
if it's anything for YouTube, I'll do it. Anything for your live audience, I don't give a shit about.
Plug it in.
Don't care about these people.
Plug
Right.
your laptop in.
I work
actually,
for the
sir.
Jordy Culotta show. We're trying to get this thing up and moving.
I work for Catholic. before,
Yeah,
you know.
I thought I did too.
I'm on Catholic side.
Where's the ladder? I have no idea. You tell me. This is your campus.
Just jiggles his keys at me. Like, so you do know where it is.
Where's the tripod?
The
Oh, I
side.
don't know.
Do y'all have Wi-Fi?
We
What do you
don't have
mean? Why
any
would you need
internet.
Wi-Fi? What do you mean? Why would we need Wi-Fi? I mean, what do you mean? Why would we need
We
Wi-Fi?
literally-
This is why
that-
we tested and came here on Tuesday and Thursday and asked you about the Wi-Fi capability. Well, the person you're here is not. The person you talk to is not here. Oh, really?
Oh, so you're not the guy.
Perfect.
All right.
Perfect.
Perfect. Y'all
Perfect.
seem ready for this.
Yeah.
Like,
Put
can you
my
help me
pants
put
down.
together this desk?
Put my
Brian
pants down
Burgess,
while
I
you're
have an Android phone and love it.
See?
A lot of them do. A lot of people in the chat have
Yeah,
Android.
you love
All right, I'll
those.
put it on the poll.
You
I'm
love
sorry
those
that was probably
pixel
offensive.
pictures. That's what they love.
Pixel Pix?
Yeah, did they not have a good camera on an Android?
Terrible
Really?
pictures. Terrible pictures.
Okay.
I
Like,
thought that was their thing.
It's somebody's thing. It
one
might
of
be a
those
Might be a
Samsung
Google phone.
yeah,
thing.
Samsung or
Yeah.
Google. One of those phones have a decent camera,
Yeah.
but it's still not the iPhone camera. Like I have an
Is it
old
still
iPhone.
Droid?
It's still a better camera
Yeah.
than Android.
It's got to be Droid, right? Droid.
Droid.
Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Yeah.
Now I have to get one.
He did.
Wait, did y'all see Bronny James in that like overseas game dunk on that kid?
Yes.
I was watching the
Someone
highlights
posted
yesterday,
it. I
and
think Cordell did. I think
it was
I saw
like
it.
it was like a French national team, like
Oh,
an
Dunk de
18
la Mort.
French national team, and then
Morning.
Bronny James California club team.
Bronny's stock's shooting up
And
right
he
now.
he scored he had like 30. He dunked on this kid like on the left side with his right hand.
That's just violent.
Violent, like LeBron.
Oh.
vibes. Yeah, coach.
Ooh.
Can we play it or no?
Coach, the landing and the back pedal is the most
That's
impressive
what I
part.
said. You got to be a freak
You
athlete
got to be
to
a
land
freak
that.
athlete to land like that and then go straight back into a back pedal. Can we play this from SportsCenter's Twitter
Why
account?
not? Who cares
I mean,
anymore?
all you got to do is credit SportsCenter,
Yeah.
right? But I mean, I'm not trying to get in any trouble.
You're not going to get in any trouble. I get an email if we get in trouble, and I swear I get one daily from Mic'd Up. Like, you violated a copyright. And I'm like, again?
Just trying to put on a
Watch
good
yourselves, bro.
Just trying to put on a good show.
Zap
You
that
do.
channel.
You do. I
Might be
get
2 for
1
2.
to 2
Yeah.
warnings every day.
2
I am
shows.
flirting the line over
2
like,
shows,
oh,
2
okay.
channels.
Yeah.
You're
Oh,
okay,
you got
but
it,
you
Lord?
got a little close with this
I got
one.
it.
Rewind it for me. Thank
I
you,
mean,
sir.
the back pedal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They got to move the stanchion back.
And they have Bryce James is out there playing with 18-year-olds.
Well, he should be.
Yeah, well, you can tell he's 16.
He should be.
Look at Bronny, lefty.
Lefty, and attacks the left side of the hoop.
Little inside out.
And dunks it. Look at that landing.
It looks like his daddy.
Yeah, it looked like a daddy.
That's pretty nice.
Look like a
Straight
daddy.
to the backhand. Is that what Skip Bayless said?
Skip, dude, that should be Skip's next move. He should, instead of attacking like LeBron, he should go
after Bronny?
He should be like Bronny's biggest fanboy. Be like, didn't like his dad, but his son can play. He's like, this is the next MJ. He should just totally star turn.
That'd be great.
I mean, he's got to find the next. He's running out of time with LeBron, I'd imagine.
Those
he
French
can only play for so long.
I don't know, Coach.
I don't know.
I mean,
I'm saying he's got to get ready for
look
the
great.
next one.
He looks great. He still looks fantastic.
Who, LeBron?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean.
He's 38 years old.
Takes
Jumping
care of the
around
body,
out there,
coach.
man. GoFlow. Remember our friends over at GoFlow, GeauxFlowIV.com. Stop in and see our friends over at GoFlow as they've got a promo code that you can mention over there. If you mention the Jordy Culotta Show, you save yourself 15%. Looking for energy, looking for a little rejuvenation here in the week. If you need some help with your sleep, if you need some help with your energy, help them over at GoFlow, GeauxFlowIV.com. That's men's total health. Got something for everybody over
25, Coach.
Something for everybody. You don't need that.
Yeah, I know.
Hydration, though, that helps us suck. So,
I know.
yeah, I guess so then.
You got to get hydrated.
Help y'all.
Yeah.
Help everybody.
Bring a towel.
Next time I
Is it
will.
Well,
Hey. Maybe. I'm going to turn over real quick. Rub this.
Wait, why a towel?
It gets wet.
That's what Deshaun Watson did.
It's the sweat.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, get a little sweaty in there.
I get it.
We've talked all about this Miles Brennan story, and obviously that's the one that dominated yesterday's news cycle here locally with Brennan giving the news that he is retiring from football, going to step away from it. And we said this morning earlier in hour number one, they were asking over at WAFB this morning. We go on the morning show every Tuesday and Thursday at around 6:45 and kind of give an update of what's coming up on the show and usually give a thought or opinion on what's dominating the sports headlines at the time. And obviously Matt Williams, who's the desk anchor, co-host desk anchor of the WAFB morning show, asked me my one word on Miles Brennan, and he said the word shocked. And I said not so much shock as much understanding. You know, I mean, like if you think about what Miles Brennan has gone through, what he has seen, and, you know, the scenarios that has just been presented to him, it's just all wacky stuff, man. I mean, really, it's crazy to say out loud that during Miles Brennan's time at LSU, the best player in the program's history showed up at his position and played 2 years in Joe Burrow. COVID hit the year that he was supposed to be the starter. There was no spring practice. There was a little bit of offseason. I mean, if you think about the 2019 national championship season, really and truly, they did a lot of the confidence building, and a lot of the winning formula was really put in the summertime. You know, I mean, Burrow was like leading the workouts. They were getting all this chemistry. People on the team were starting to believe. You could start to see the leaders were kind of getting figured out organically on the, you know, just as Burrow was leading this stuff with no coaches around. Fast forward a year, Miles Brennan gets hit with COVID. There's no spring practice. There's nobody allowed in the facility in the summertime. Really, so even if you wanted to get work together, it's really kind of playing against you because, you know, all the facilities are closed on campus. You know, I mean, there was a universal pandemic that hit in the season that Brennan was set to become the starter. They don't even know what the schedule looks like until a couple of weeks before the season opens up. And then he gets his opportunity, and obviously he's playing those 3 games, and the numbers are what they are. And the numbers, as we recapped earlier this week, when just talking about the quarterback competition, when it was still live and featuring Miles Brennan, was that, I mean, the worst part of the story for Brennan is that, and as a competitor and as a player, is it would be much easier if you just go out there and flame out. Or it'd be much easier if you just go out there and really just kind of get hurt and you can't play again. At least you have the peace of mind of, look, man, I went out there, just kind of got dealt a bad hand, and that's how it ended for me. But from Miles Brennan's standpoint, the production on the field was fantastic. I mean, he was on pace to, put up some record-type numbers in the way that he was throwing the ball. In his last game at Missouri was his best one.
Should have scored that.
And he's hit with this freaky abdominal injury that if they perform surgery, they tell him that they will name the surgery after him. It would be like a modern-day Tommy John. I mean, how many people know that Tommy John's an actual human being? I think everybody just kind of references it with a surgery. Well, it was actually first done on a guy named Tommy John. I mean, Miles Brennan's surgery would become the Miles Brennan surgery if he would have elected to have had that. It's just another crazy piece of the storyline of the last 6 years in Brennan's tenure at LSU. I don't think that there's any student athlete, definitely at LSU, but really, I'm not well-versed on all college athletics, but I'm a fan of college. I've never heard a story of anything like this. A person, male or female athlete that stays on a campus for 6 years, goes through all these freaky injuries, has crazy coaching turnover, has players show up in the locker room at his position that ultimately, the stadium could be named after. And it was time, in my opinion. I get it. People yesterday, did Miles Brennan quit? Come on, man. Even Harvey in hour number 1. I get Harvey's take, and Harvey's an old school football player, man, and I love Harvey. And I'm not going back and forth on Miles Brennan's decision with Harvey. He has his opinion, but mine is that Brennan didn't quit. Brennan, I guess by the letter of the law, but from a quitter's mentality, I wouldn't look and label Brennan as a quitter.
He could have quit a million times from before now.
It's over for him.
Why didn't he have the surgery? I don't remember what the
Because
deal was with that.
Oh, well, there was uncertainty around it.
It was exploratory.
And then I think that he was also getting advice of, if you just rehab it, you can get back right.
Yeah.
I do wonder how much pain he's in.
I know.
If that's probably playing a factor where he wakes up every day is his arm has to kill. It's probably his torso still hurts. All of these things that probably add up. He's old. He's probably I don't know if I can do this anymore. It's probably more of a grind than we realize.
Yeah, how do you rehab?
Oh, absolutely it is. Absolutely.
Right.
Right.
That's a lot.
And you use it every day.
And look,
when he
Brennan,
throws.
in the same sense, who has been more ridiculed or had his weight looked at more than Miles Brennan?
It's
I
like
remember
Spears.
when we were looking back at him, when I was looking back at him as a freshman, it looks unsafe for him to be out there. That's how small he is. Yeah. His arms look like spaghetti strings coming out of his shoulder pads. And he's got first rounders for Bama chasing him out there, man. He's behind an offensive line that not a lot of people trust, and he was at St. Stanislaus 8 months before that. It's and then you look at him kind of later after the injuries, and everybody was talking about, look at all the weight Brennan's gained. Look where his weight is. What's going on with his weight? From everything from the weight, shaming and breakdown that Brennan has been through individually to, tripping over a pier, tripping over a slat on a pier. And breaking his arm 2 days before camp started.
It's weird.
How in the hell did one player experience all of this stuff?
Turmoil.
Just junk, crap, stuff, shit. How much stuff do you have to go through?
Say whatever you want.
Whoa.
It's like old school.
It's old school, yeah. I got you. Cop balls. All right, it's like game.
Which one doesn't exist? Or which one does it fit?
What? Yeah, it's a weird ride he's been on. I feel sorry for him. This is a weird ending.
And we'll get the true test of what he's supposed to look like weight-wise now. And see if he was big for football, if he's going to slim back down again.
I wonder what he even weighs
He should go full regalia Jim.
Oh yeah, just six pack,
bro. Just six pack and just get yoked. But
I think he's going to go fishing.
Too fratty.
Yeah.
Very frat.
He'll go straight dad bod. He's already married.
Yeah, right.
Or engaged.
He's not married.
He's engaged to be married.
I
think they live together.
I'm sure.
Okay.
Like in a house.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's cooked.
What else would they live in?
Like an apartment. A normal person.
Yeah, he's adulting.
Yeah, that's what
He
I'm saying.
is
She might,
adulting.
yeah, he'd probably have a kid soon.
Yeah, I
That
mean,
is
so
very
it's
adult.
just.
But he's an adult.
Yeah,
Yeah, but he's like doing adult things. I mean, at
I
23, I was an adult too, but I was a long way from being an adult.
Yeah. Tell me I can't smoke in here.
Yeah, right.
I'm trying to smoke right now. What is going on?
Everybody good with this, huh?
Yeah.
No?
Just put it out on the carpet.
Put it on the table, actually.
So that was so WWL made the report of Brennan kind of stepping away from football. About 10 minutes later, WWL's Twitter account, or Christian Garrick from WWL, put out the Miles Brennan story, and then WWL a couple of minutes later puts out that they're hearing. Let me bring up the tweet just to make sure I get it
WWL,
right.
we
Just
had
to
it
make sure I get
first.
it right. Just to make sure I get it right. I want to make sure I get this right.
Yeah, that's piss off all the news outlets around town. Can't go to New Orleans. Can't go to practice.
Losing all of our access.
You know, we can go to high schools.
Yeah, I mean,
We
look,
love us there. We're
they
failing,
open arms.
just failing forwards and backwards.
Yep.
We're out the LSU game. Just high schools.
Right.
We just cover high school sports now.
Yeah.
Check us on recruiting.
To catch a video.
We're huge on Tiger droppings.
Always been.
Citing sources. That's what Hunter Fournette said.
Me?
Yeah. No, you.
No. I'm looking for this
tweet.
The tweet of
Citing
what they
sources.
said.
Hated
What's
it.
the tweet about?
Okay, so yesterday, Christian Garrick put out breaking LSU quarterback Miles Brennan is walking away from football. A source has told me Brennan was informed that he will not be the starting quarterback this fall. Later, WWL put out and said that their sources are telling them that LSU is going to settle on Jaden Daniels as the starting quarterback going into the season. Now, obviously, that's a report that they're going with and running with. I don't.
Katie,
I don't
okay,
quite
get it.
yet
Calling that
believe
for months,
that.
but okay.
I don't quite yet believe that just yet. Just because of what, and I'm not saying that Brian Kelly's telling the media and the public exactly how he's playing his hand for his quarterback, but I believed him on Thursday when he said, look, if Nuss is available, he'd take first-team reps too, which makes me believe that the quarterback competition is not closed, is that it's still open and that they're still evaluating. But like Mike Denbrock said early last week, at some point you got to make a choice here so you can start game planning and getting ready for game one, right? And I think that we're in that window of now through Saturday, I think LSU will know their starter. Like internally, they will probably name their starter, at least as a staff, after the scrimmage on Saturday.
Don't you think they know?
Yeah.
I mean, don't
No,
you
I think
think
they
Miles knew? Like, this was just a formality, right?
Yeah.
Kelly
No,
to
I
be
think they
like,
told
okay,
him
we've
Saturday morning
announced
after
it.
the scrimmage.
Well, I'm
You know, I mean-
I'm still on Christian Garrick's Twitter, who seems to have fallen into this Miles Brennan wormhole, which is good luck. It said somebody quote tweeted saying, "No, he's leaving football. He's not transferring." And Christian Garrick responds, "I wouldn't bet on this just yet. Let's take a couple of days. He could change his mind on this. In fact, wouldn't surprise me if he does. I think a transfer is still in the cards after he cools off a bit."
Where's he gonna go?
Southern Miss.
I mean,
he can play.
If you're Brennan, I know that there's not a lock sure spot in football where you can look at and say, but I would look at the most easiest path to the field. You know what I mean? Like, screw all this BS, man.
I'm not competing.
You know what I mean? Like, or I'll go compete. You know what I mean? But I'm walking into a spot where y'all need a quarterback. You know what I mean?
Come get
like,
me.
Absolutely. If
You
you
will.
want a quarterback and you need one, I'm available, but I want to play. Like, I am coming to play.
Well, he was
And I
playing
want to
there, right?
start every game, and I'm going to give you starters preparation and starters mentality and work, but I'm playing.
Yeah.
Like, I ain't clipboarding this thing. I'm not wearing any more headsets. I'm not watching. I'm not doing any of that stuff, man. And, like, judging by Christian Garrick's language in that tweet of, you know, let's let a couple of days to cool off, he might have gotten the information on Saturday and just been pissed and made a very emotional decision. I'm guessing here.
sure that's
I'm
what happened,
speculating here. Right? But I mean, as early we watched spring.
Yeah.
When I watched spring, I saw 6 to 10 reps, and I said to myself, it's either going to be Nussmeier or Daniels.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm voting on Nussmeier. You know what I mean? Like, I kind of like was like, this is a 2-quarterback race. So for him to be shocked
Can't be.
on
Everyone's
Saturday
saying that.
is shocking to me. If that's the case.
Yeah.
He may not have been. I don't know. I don't know.
I'm saying that cools off a bit is what I find interesting.
Right.
'Cause I
That's what
wouldn't
I'm
imagine
just,
him
I'm reading
being-
into that.
Yeah,
You know
absolutely.
What I mean?
It's
I'm just reading into the words that are being presented around Brennan. And I texted Miles last night. I in fact called Miles last night and left him a voicemail. I'd love for him to come sit down and let's long form just talk it out, bro. Like just the experience. You know what I mean? Like 6 years. Wrap it up.
Has he done that anywhere? Has he really talked to
He talked to us for a while when he transferred.
And he was,
when he put his name in the portal. He was fantastic.
He was great. He was very open.
And then he went on with T-Bob and Hester, I think, a couple of days later to announce that he was coming back.
Yeah, that's right.
And then Lloyd saw him at the basketball game, and they did the Wolf of Wall Street
Yeah, we
thing.
came back. Absolutely.
Yeah, like it was like, I mean, like
Not
things were
leaving.
trending in a good direction for him, and then they got Jaden Daniels.
Mhm. That's why I posed the question to you earlier. They must not have.
And I think when they got Jaden Daniels, I think that was a tip-off to everybody of, you know, LSU was kind of still under the pretense of they need everybody. It was almost like Matt McMahon's deal, like, yeah, they're taking Blake. They just need anybody that'll say they'll
We
play.
got spots.
Yeah, I mean, LSU football was in that position for a minute. Like, after you pulled out of Houston and left that bowl game, I'd
40
imagine
people on the
Kelly
team?
and the staff were probably like, holy shit.
This wasn't fun
Like,
to
I
watch
had
at all.
no idea. I had no idea. Like, they're in the dark ages over here, man. Like, they don't have players.
You don't have coaches.
Well, I mean, I don't think he was worried about that part.
Right,
You know what
but
I mean?
just
But
even
just
see, like,
looking at the personnel on the field in the game, you're probably thinking, like, where are we going to get an offensive lineman if you're Brian Kelly? Like, what are you going to do to get an offensive line prepared for the spring? I mean, they got guys out there that don't even deserve a jersey. You know what I mean? Like, I just got to imagine the dire mentality of Kelly and his staff thinking, like, man, we need everybody. You know, like everybody. And they got Brennan like right before the bowl because remember people were asking, can he play in the bowl? Can he play in the bowl?
Dude hasn't worked out in 6 months.
I kind of wanted to see him play though.
I kind of did too. And like even that
didn't matter.
Even that part of it. Like even that part of it. Like he would have played 4 quarters. Like that's really probably all Brennan wants. You know what I mean? Just like I'll go out there and play with the Our Lady of Mercy Blue Jays. Can I play? Can I play? You know what I mean? Like
I'll watch plenty.
Whatever you want, wherever you want me, I'll come play. Like if it's Southern Miss. I mean, is Frank Gore Jr. really the quarterback at Southern Miss? Like that is bro. Go back to running back. I'll come play quarterback. You know what I mean? Like he's a running back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
they alternated like 3 or 4 guys at Southern Miss last year, and Frank Gore ended up throwing
there you go.
six touchdowns.
There you go. Like there you go.
They need a quarterback.
You know what I mean? Like they are in the market for a quarterback.
But if he transfers now, does he have just 1 year then he can play?
No,
I don't know that.
Another year after this one.
No, he does. He right now at LSU, he could play
2.
this year and next.
Yeah, it's 2 years.
So-
the transfer portal doesn't matter. He's able to go to the transfer portal.
Like
Yes.
if he so can he transfer today and be eligible tomorrow?
Yes,
he can.
absolutely.
Man,
it's a transfer portal. That's what it's there for.
Wild Wild West, baby.
it really is.
Let's do it.
I mean, that's amazing. He should do that, right?
Well, maybe it's just out.
I mean,
sometimes you just like know, like
23.
you know when it's over.
You know what I mean? Like if,
And there's- if he
one thing I
plays
do agree with
well-
Harvey is
Yeah, I
like, dude,
know.
like what else? You at some point you'll look back and be like, damn, I had an opportunity. I could have
Right.
just
I
gone
know.
and
Just
hung it
played.
up.
Yeah, I mean, I just walked away from it.
I know. Why not just?
You
give
know,
it
but
one more
but
go?
we're not in his head. You
No,
know what I
we're
mean?
not.
Like he might 6 years of
Christian
Division
Garrett's
One
head right
college
now.
football is. Maybe you're just like, dude, I'm done. I'm tapped
Right.
out. I don't want any more of this. It's just a lot of
Bullshit.
politics. Yeah, a lot of politics and red tape. Or at least that was my experience on it. I mean, the book on Brennan is Hollywood.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like, gee, I don't believe this.
He's going to be the
I
mascot.
wouldn't even
at LSU.
believe this script if I read it.
I know. Somebody's got to do something with it. Just a 30
That's
for
the
30
movie.
or
He's going to come
something,
back
right?
and be the mascot. The movie's already been written.
Is that tall enough?
No.
Mascot's
tall
6'7".
He's got to get taller now.
All right. I mean, the guy in front of you is bigger, and we're gonna go with this guy.
He's got more experience.
Yeah, right. We're gonna go with this
Oh my
mascot,
God.
Miles. I'm sorry, man.
That is so awful.
I mean,
y'all.
you look great. You're 6'4". You know what I mean? You got a great arm. You could probably get the stuff up to the upper deck in the basketball.
Injury prone,
in the
though.
PMAC.
Yeah.
But the 1 seed, the starter's 6'7". He's got 2 years experience on you.
Never been hurt.
Never been hurt.
I mean, the guy's got a rocket launcher on his right arm. He throws all types of cups and
Watches all the film.
Yes, I don't.
Yeah, damn.
I don't know, man.
Sucks
I
for
feel
the
like you
guy.
shouldn't talk like that.
If I see him, I'll give him a hug.
There is an appeal to. I mean, if he's all what they said, he made over $300,000 through NIL. He didn't, he gets to keep that money.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's not enough money, but it would be fun for a year.
Hell yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I'm still in college.
Hell yeah. How
with
much cooler would it be if I was the starting quarterback with $300K in the account?
Exactly. It would probably be more. But there's also an air of, I don't have to do shit. Like, I don't have to go to practice. I don't have to, I'm sure he wants to. But there's another world where you're like, I'm done with all that. Let's go to the get on a boat. Like, I'm retired. I'm retiring.
$300K and a truck.
Yeah,
he
and
could
a
be
truck.
the king of Hattiesburg.
Wow.
He would be.
And I mean,
he probably already is.
Yeah, I mean,
you know what I mean? Like it's probably, even though, I mean, his graduating class has been gone for 2 years off college campuses. I mean, I'm not even trying to make a joke.
I wonder, dude, they kind of text him and they're like, bro, how's class? Like,
I mean,
where
unless
are you?
unless I would have been in your graduating class, Miles.
Same.
I mean, everybody's
Me
in
too.
the workforce. I mean, I was still a sophomore in my 6th year.
Yeah, red shirt. Sophomore.
Right. Where you at, Miles?
What's up, bro?
Are we going to Southern Miss?
Fucking accounting, dude.
Right. I'm getting into friends off of your back, bro. I'm telling people I graduated with you.
Oh my goodness! I mean, he has graduated, right? Like he could be a graduate transfer also.
Twice.
Yeah.
I mean, like I would imagine. I mean,
Has he graduated? Do we know
he's got to
I
have
think he
graduated.
did graduate once at least.
He has got
Once,
to have
at
graduated
least.
one time.
That would be an all-time run if he found enough.
I mean, it is the
classes.
true
Oh,
Van
God.
Wilder if he's got no
Absolutely.
diploma at this
He
point.
would be.
Yeah,
I mean, he's Van Wilder with eligibility.
That's true.
that's an even cooler story.
It is.
He needs,
really
he
is.
needs. He should be. If he was single, this would be an even better story.
I know.
Because then you got $300K. You're walking around.
Can't really curl
Could have
now.
started.
Coulda
Decided
started.
to walk away
Yeah,
from it.
I quit. Yeah, like,
Right.
they needed me.
They didn't quit on me. I quit them.
Yeah, watch him go 6-6 without me.
Isn't it a family? Who's he engaged to?
T-Bob.
T-Bob.
Oh.
Not T-Bob, but
Well, I-
T-Bob's. I believe it's his niece.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's his niece.
Aaron ain't there.
He's engaged to T-Bob.
Just like early on, like when me and T-Bob were doing the show, he was like, Miles Brennan's babysitting my kid. And I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, she's dating my cousin. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. That makes more sense, man. But, and this is when Miles was young.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he was
He did graduate.
twice or once?
Just once.
In what?
General studies?
Probably sport admin.
Yeah, right. My guy, bro.
Yeah, my guy too.
I'm down with it.
Sports admin. That's basically general.
I
studies.
hope he plays
Might be-
again.
I do too.
But I get why he wouldn't. Like either way, like I'm with you,
Yeah.
Miles. Like I see it.
Do
man.
whatever you want.
I'd love to watch you. I'd love to watch you play. I really would. I'd love to watch him get back behind a pocket, protected, and throw the football.
Mm-hmm.
Really. I mean, he's got a cannon.
He
I mean,
can
like
spin
he's
it.
got Brett Favre type arm strength. Like you can
He
hear it like
does.
whistling over your
He
head.
would be the next Brett Favre there.
You don't want to really be.
Who
that
else
Brett
has
Favre
there
anymore.
been?
Oh no! He could go have Brett Favre vibes
Totally.
on Southern Miss campus.
You don't want vibes.
But he's not going to be. He's not
No,
going to be Brett Favre.
I mean,
Brett Favre's
I
a
guess
weird
not.
guy.
What
Yeah,
could
it turned out
happen?
to be he's a really weird dude.
What
Yeah.
could happen? Could he get
Hey,
drafted? Like,
That's
I
what
think he
that's
could.
what
next
I'm
year?
saying.
I think he
Like, for
could.
a year?
It's a tough time to walk away right now when you look like kind of like
I think
Harvey
he could.
said.
But
when
I
you
think
look
he could,
into the
I
future,
think
like,
he could still. He's young enough where even if he sat out, he could go to a combine or he could go to a pro day. Like he could.
If he sat out?
He'd have no problem going to LSU's pro day in April and working out in front of pro scouts. Or at least you always need. I mean, I've seen Matt Flynn come back to pro day for 6 years now. I mean, Matt Flynn would love to give it up for a quarterback to go work out. You know what I mean? It's like I got to go throw at pro day.
Yeah.
You know,
Guys are fast.
I mean,
They
because
got
they just need an arm. They just need somebody to go back there and throw him. And you can't pluck Burrow or Walker Howard off of the sideline at LSU Pro Day and say, "You mind come throw?" You know, I mean, you got to get somebody that's not even either working out or somebody that's like hanging around like Matt Flynn's just in Baton Rouge and has a professional life here and is able to kind of break away and go handle a pro day type workout. But I mean, Miles Brennan would definitely, easily be a invitee to LSU's pro day if he sat out of football next year. There's no doubt. I mean, Tyrann Mathieu went to LSU's pro day.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's the same type of thing. We're intrigued. The scouts would love to see you. You know, and I'm telling you, there's one or two either general managers or head coaches in the NFL right now who know who Miles Brennan is and is confident and cocky enough to say, bring him in our program and let's see. Because I believe I can coach him up to be a player. Because we got an offensive line good enough that he doesn't have to be mobile. We don't want to count on our guy. I mean, give me a quarterback in the league right now that plays in that setting. Would it be Aaron Rodgers? He's a little bit more mobile than, I mean, he's an athlete. He works out of the pocket, but he primarily would like to just stand back there and just pick you apart. Right?
Tom Brady's obviously
Green
the
Bay
one
has built
seed.
their offensive line where it's like the steel curtain. I mean, it's like a backup or the third team guy is not better than Brennan.
Miles Brennan or Ian Book?
Brennan. All day. Behind the Saints offensive line, Brennan all day. Because I saw Ian Book take a 5-step drop last week and throw a crossing route backside and overthrow he almost got that guy killed on that pick. I mean, in the middle of the field, he's got his torso, standing straight up on it was a 7-yard
I've
in
been out
route.
on Ian Book since they went to
I agree.
Miami.
I'm out on Ian Book too, but
when
I mean,
they went to Hard Rock that year, and he looked like he had never seen a defense at all. He was just throwing picks. Like, it was just drive after drive, pick six, pick six, pick six. Every throw was a pick. And it was just like, damn Ian.
Ian Book.
Is that a hit on? Is that a hit on Kelly?
No, that's a hit on Ian Book.
Yeah.
Ian Book in 12 games. I guess this is his last year in college. 22 of 353, 64% completion percentage, 2,800 yards, 15 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Brennan can do that.
Daniil Hunter, Michael Brockers, better NFL players than college players. Miles Brennan, in my opinion, would not surprise me if he was a better NFL player than he was a college player. And not just because of the limited scope of his work. And I'm not even saying Miles Brennan's got to go out in the NFL and play. If he looked up and he was on a roster a year from now, that's a win.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's much more successful of a college run just by making the roster and getting NFL money and salary. Somebody in that organization said, we can't cut that kid. You got to keep him around. Which means if you get into the NFL washing machine, you'll be like Danny Etling. I mean, Etling looked up. He's 6 years in the league. Playing behind Green Bay, playing behind Aaron Rodgers. He's got a great pension now in the NFL to live off of.
That could be Miles.
Easily.
I mean,
I would take Miles Brennan over Danny Etling.
Oh, for sure.
No.
He could excel there.
Etling can move.
Etling is a better athlete than Miles is, but he wishes he could throw the football at the quarterback spot. Miles Brennan will never be moved to wide receiver.
No.
They moved Danny Etling to wide receiver in Atlanta. You know why? Because they said, dude, you're a hell of an athlete. Ain't no way you can play quarterback in this league. Miles Brennan's got one place to play. He's only playing one position. That's it. That's it. And there's somebody in there in a 32-team organization, within that organization, that has power that says, let's take him. Screw it. We're secure at quarterback. You know, I mean, you might have whoever you may have. Pick one out. Matt Stafford in L.A., Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay, an aging veteran that you feel like can play 3-4 more years, that maybe you can put a guy like Miles Brennan into the room and say, this is what it looks like to be. Hell, put him in Cincinnati.
No, he would hate that.
Yeah.
Right?
Because you're going back to the shadow?
Yeah.
But go look at it, bro. Like, I mean.
They did hug each other after the national championship. First one they hugged.
I don't know. But I'm saying I believe and have always believed that Brennan is a pro. There's no way in my head there's 64 better quarterbacks in the world than Miles Brennan after you watch him plant his feet and throw a football. If you ever do that, he is as good as anybody at that mechanic of playing that position that you can find. And the game has changed. And it sucks that it changed on his watch.
He's had really bad luck.
The worst.
The worst.
Colts,
the worst.
Titans,
Colts offensive line would be perfect.
Lions.
Perfect.
I think he's like, his comparison for me would be like Jared Goff.
That's
like
a good
him and Jared
comparison.
Goff are almost perfect
same,
together.
yeah.
Like the same player.
And he's probably a smarter football player than Goff is.
How did Goff go 1?
Bad draft.
Yeah, terrible.
Bring the draft up. I mean, he's because I think that was a quarterback heavy draft, wasn't it?
What should we tell Miles to do then? Go to Southern Miss?
Hell yeah, I would tell Miles to go to Southern Miss. You know what I mean? But football is a game that you cannot play if you don't love it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
But he does love it, right?
I don't know.
Well, we thought he did.
I mean, if
for
you
a
just
long
walk
time.
away from it 2 weeks before a season starts, that's probably you're either jaded by it or you might be over it.
Dak Prescott, Carson
Might be over it. You know, Gary Booker, Jordy stop. Brennan is done. Maybe he is. Graham Kelly Miles is the ultimate XFL guy.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, hey.
God, this quarterback draft stunk.
Yep.
What was the overall draft? Who was the best player in the top 10?
Let's see. It went Jared Goff, Carson Wentz, Joey Bosa, Zeke, probably Jalen Ramsey, Ronnie Stanley.
I'd take Joey Bosa, huh?
Jalen Ramsey. You could go either way. You're fine.
way.
But, I mean, the quarterbacks alone are not good. Like, so they're just cooked. Who did they have? And it was when they were moving from –
They were moving from St. Louis to L.A.
Mm-hmm.
And
then
they
just hired McVay.
Goff is coming from Cal.
Yeah.
He was the West Coast guy, and Wentz was from North
Fisher
Dakota
was
State.
out, yeah. And then we brought in this flashy Sean McVay. He's very California.
This wasn't a good draft at all.
No.
Like, they didn't hit on a lot of these players. It's cooked.
Jared Guillory, Miles likes football, doesn't love it. I don't know if you're speaking on that for real, but I mean, if you don't love it, especially at this part of it, where you're a little over it.
I mean, Jeff Driscoll's in the league.
It's hard not to be over it when you've been through what he's been through.
I agree.
Too,
I agree. I mean, if I
love
was
it, it's
him,
hard.
if I'd have been laying face first on that pier in South Louisiana
Hammered.
2 days before camp started, I'd have thought to myself, "This is it.
Fucking roll me in the water.
Yeah,
I'm
right.
done.
Put sand in my boots, bro. Sink me.
Call the alligators. Fuck it.
Yeah, right.
Did you see
Feed
that
me.
woman that got
Cut me up.
eaten by an alligator?
Yeah,
Wait,
is that
when?
crazy?
Yeah, what's the deal with that? What happened to
Where
her?
was that? South Carolina?
Lake Placid, I guess. Have you ever seen
It's got to be in Florida, right?
God.
No, I think it was in South Carolina.
Really?
88 years old.
Oh.
What was she doing? Trying to get her dog or something?
What
get
a
away.
way to go,
That
bro.
is a way to go.
88.
I don't think she's coming back to play.
I
Wait,
get
what
it. I
was
get
she
all the way
doing?
to 88, and I get eaten by an alligator.
She was gardening.
Was it in South
God,
Carolina?
That's yes.
The thing
In
looked like
South
a
Carolina,
dinosaur.
it said she was gardening.
He's been scoping her out for years.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
They euthanized him though.
No, the gator?
Yeah.
Is there a picture of him? Did
I
say he
don't
was
know.
big?
I mean, I'm sure he's pretty big.
Man. I mean, but
They were like
did he
he-
just come out and get her while she
I
was
mean, coach,
gardening?
this
Did
alligator.
you see that 10-foot hammerhead that swam up on the shore in Orange Beach?
Hell no.
Bro, there's a video
Hell
of it, and the
no.
thing's like flapping its tail out on the surf. 10-footer, bro. Orange Beach. Just that weekend
Can a
getaway.
hammerhead get you?
I don't know.
What?
Shark, though. Fin. I'm
Yeah,
out.
they can get you.
Well,
Why
their
not?
mouth is it's just an odd shape.
Yeah, it is a weird
Well, it's
eating.
just one straight across, right?
Yeah.
Or is that
Sharks
yeah,
don't
right?
wanna
Isn't it
eat
straight
people.
across that head?
It's
thing?
like underneath their nose, like a.
Is it underneath? Oh yeah, the head is.
Hell
the
yeah,
eyes
Fox
and
10 News, it's hammer time.
Get the clicks, boys.
Yes. This
that's-
is wild. It's
wild.
chasing the stingray.
Coach, look how close that is.
Yeah, that's really too close.
It's way too close.
Wow.
Oh wait, so the woman was gardening and slipped into the water, so
Oh.
it didn't come out and get her. But that's awful.
Oh.
How do you? I mean.
Oh, he's
that's
been waiting, though. He's been
awful.
waiting on
He
her
was
to fall.
waiting for
She
her
slipped?
to slip into the water.
What is she's too close to the water?
Yeah,
Isn't
that's
that
way
terrible?
too close gardening.
Way
What is she
too close
doing?
At 88,
This is a fishy story.
it is.
Uh,
It is. I like
Maybe
what
her.
you
Where's
maybe,
her husband?
Maybe her estranged
He's
son
probably
was
dead.
home.
That's what I'm thinking. It's just
Gave
like
her a
Lake
little-
Placid. That woman was chopped up her husband and fed him to the gator in Lake Placid, the movie.
They can go 15 to 30 miles an hour on land.
Dude, I love that
Freaking
quote. They're
alligator.
quite
Oh
fast.
yeah, you gotta.
I mean,
Boy, scoot now.
You talking about the
a gator.
alligator?
A gator.
Yeah.
Look at that one
they're
that,
very
that
fast.
surfaced in South Carolina last year.
What's the deal with South Carolina and the gators?
I don't know, man, but let me tell you,
Lot going
bro,
on
this
back
thing
there.
crossing the
Coming for
street
us.
in South Carolina looks like a dinosaur.
I mean, didn't they come?
Which
from
I'm sure they
dinosaurs?
got them right here down,
Got to.
I-10 right here
I'm
west.
driving down I-10 the other day, and I'm like, I always do my little look
Mm-hmm.
around, see that there was no lie, this gator was probably 13 foot.
Weren't we coming back from New Orleans
Yeah,
a
we
couple
saw
months
one.
ago, and somebody had stopped on the side of the road and like cut one in half?
Yes, that was
and
so
thrown
gross.
the like I don't know what they were trying to keep on the gator, but they had cut the thing like almost midway. It had to be an 8-footer. It had to be an
At
8-footer.
least.
First
Yeah, it was
off, the
big.
head on this son of a bitch looked like a steel. I mean, like it looked like Jaws
Yeah.
sitting on the. And I was like, "Is that a gator?"
It was
I
bloody.
mean, it was, dude. It was.
They make this little weird noise.
But you got to
too.
run in zigzags.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I've always
but
heard.
it's like
Is that true?
sometimes they like growl too. Though.
Yeah, they like bubble the water.
I mean, I've heard that since I was a kid.
I have
What?
too. I
Running
ran from
zigzags.
a snake in
Oh,
zigzags. but I
serpentine.
didn't know
If
anything.
if an alligator is chasing you,
Well, I'm about to. Yeah, look at this alligator.
is this
Faster than
is
you
this from
think.
last year?
I don't know. I just put an alligator chase.
Oh, God.
Look at this thing
Oh,
scoot.
Oh,
God,
God.
dude.
I mean, it's bad.
Oh,
That's
my
like a
God.
young one. That looks like
Yeah,
a
that's like a
baby.
baby
kinda.
gator.
Yeah, right.
I'm
That's,
just saying, he
that's
can
an
scoot.
athlete, bro.
Yeah.
He's young. He's in his young days.
It's kind of cute.
What is that?
Is that a fish?
Ooh, look
Yeah,
at
he's
his
trying.
mouth.
He's baiting him.
They're just reeling it in.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's the
nice.
oldest trick in the
Why
book.
do you want to mess with them?
Wow.
Oh, I know a lot of people that mess with gators.
Are they on a golf course?
Franklin,
Yeah,
Louisiana.
I think so.
It does look like that.
Now, did I get duped by the internet, or did that guy really hit an alligator in the head with a frying pan to beat him off?
No, I saw that.
Is that real?
Yeah, that's
What are you
real.
talking about? The
Is that
guy-
real, or
when-
is
when
that
the
internet?
alligator was like in the trash can?
No. Like
no,
he's
it's
like in
coming
a
out.
pen.
Backyard.
He's like in a pen. It looks like, and this alligator like rushes this old man,
Yeah.
and he's got a frying pan in his hand, and he just pops it
Yeah.
like
Oh,
right on
yeah.
the head. And this thing just kind of like, it's kind of like, like
a
you want to pop
crocodile.
your kid on the,
Yeah.
I mean, just kind of like,
Like
whoop,
the
my bad.
nose. I think
It
that
was-
is really sensitive for him. Isn't
Yeah.
that what you're supposed to do to
It was like
sharks,
Joe
too?
with the dog across the street. When Joe had to fight his way, into the car. That's what he did. He boop.
In the nose.
Yeah.
Just
He-
booped
he
it.
does- if he didn't have that thing, Joe's toast.
Wow.
He had his little laptop case and it bopped him.
I think it was a
Yeah, I think the
crocodile.
frying pan was real. What what do you do? I
Go
would
to
do
it.
that too.
Yeah, we did. He hated getting hit in the nose.
Yeah, he did.
The gator?
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's like ran off fast.
Yeah, I think that's the best way to
Must be like the
send them
button
off.
on a human's
Go back.
jaw.
Go back.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah,
And a
he's trying
shark,
to give him
too.
free pass.
Pop.
I would pass
This
out.
one, this one
Look at
hurts
this
him,
guy,
stings him.
dude.
Ow.
Oh,
no.
wow.
Warning,
Got
it says crocodiles.
I mean,
right
guys
there.
said his feet.
Yeah, but I mean,
He
it
didn't
says
budge.
crocodiles.
It says
right
warning
It
crocodiles.
does. I didn't notice that sign before. What the hell? Why is he out there then?
He's about to cook him.
That's so weird.
Wow.
Yeah, I never noticed the warning sign before. That's
There's a
weird.
guy on TikTok that like raises alligators.
I've seen him.
And he has like giant
He
alligators
gets
in there.
in
They
there
have
with
names.
him and like cleans their area
No,
while, and he's
see.
like, "Yeah, back off! Don't
Bob,
do that."
what are you
I'm
doing,
like,
Bob?
It's an alligator. What
Back
are you
up,
doing?
Bob.
They don't care. They're not listening to
Yeah,
you.
and they're like sitting there growling at him.
yes,
They're
and he
just
thinks
they're
it's
just
so
waiting.
cute.
They're just waiting.
Waiting for him to fuck up.
You know
Bide
they
their
are.
time.
There's like tons of them, and he's just in there with them. I mean,
Feeding them chicken.
yeah,
See, I get the appeal of like having tigers. Like I understood Tiger
Totally,
King.
I
That
would
would be
have a
all.
tiger.
That would be
What?
I would
unbelievable.
totally have a tiger.
For what?
Just to snuggle with.
got a
Yeah.
tiger,
If
man.
it
If you
was
could
allowed,
tame
if
it,
you
it would
could-
be
yeah.
unbelievable.
Like
Ain't
Mike
nobody
Tyson.
taming a tiger, bro.
Those big
Your
feet.
sick feet and
right
Roy
there.
couldn't get that tiger tamed. Lloyd ain't getting
Yeah.
tamed,
See,
dude.
I have log standing saying I could get Mike the Tiger's little habitat, and I think we would be okay.
I think you'd do
God,
that.
what a great promotion that would be.
I think we would
I
bond.
know.
That
We
would
could
be
look at each other and we
incredible
could
for
see
me.
We
it in
could
his
screen
eyes.
that
See how
live.
LSU feels about that.
Yeah.
I'm sure they'd be right
we're
on
in bad
board with
standing
it.
right now. With
They
LSU.
probably want us to go in there.
yeah,
That's
get the
right.
whole crew in there. Y'all do a live
That's
show.
right.
Yeah.
That's right.
Step on in,
Yeah,
guys.
right.
Come on.
Yeah. Can we get the Culotta show team in?
You're credentialed right this way.
Yeah, right. Got a special showing for you one by one. Jordy, you up first.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Lloyd's already gone in there.
Mike loves Italian. Get in there.
Extra fiddle.
Yeah. All right, have a great day out there. Make sure to hit that like button, share button, comment button. We're supposed to be at St. James. We're going to be at St. James. Excuse me. We're going to be at St. James High School
Somebody called
at 6 o'clock this afternoon for a live announcement. Kai Preen is going to announce between LSU, Florida State, Auburn, and Mississippi State. Will LSU win out? We will have it for you live on the Jordy Culotta Show. Make sure and check back in. If you missed Jordan Matthews' announcement yesterday, he pledged to Tennessee. If you want to watch it live, it's on the YouTube station. Make sure and hit that like button, share button, comment button. We appreciate you being out there. Remember our friends over at Hudco Roof. It is storm season on the horizon. Buy from someone you know. Do business with someone you know over at Hudco Roofing. Obviously, Ryan Terrio is over there, and Moscona's over there too, slinging roofs. We're going head-to-head with Moscona. When you dial them up over at Hudco, let them know that you're coming over to use their roofing services because Jordy Culotta and the Jordy Culotta Show told you to. Not Matt Moscona. In fact, we're going to start a hashtag at Hudco, not Scone, because it's coming from the Culotta Show. We're going head up. He's got a year head start on us selling roofs over at Hudco, but we coming for that ass, Scone. HudcoRoofing.com. HudcoRoofing.com. Do business with someone you know.
No
Ryan
Scone.
Terry and the crew. Roof repair, roof replacement, insurance claims, all of it. Get ready here before storm season. You can dial us up, or you can go straight to the website, HudcoRoofing.com, HudcoRoofing.com. Have a great day. We'll be back with you tomorrow morning at, 6 o'clock this afternoon from St. James High School.
Hashtag no Scona.
Like, share, comment. We'll talk to you this evening.